from our previous meeting, which has been several months ago in April. Do you have a motion or?
I move to accept the minutes.
Got a motion? You start the. Okay, thank you, John. Got a second? Okay. Any discussion? Here it comes. Hi, Corey.
How are you
Doing well. How you doing? You're fine. If no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. So we appreciate that. Oops, I signed the wrong place, Danny. I signed in Gretchen's place. She signed twice too. Appreciate everybody being here again. First thing on our agenda today is to conduct a public hearing and consider and take appropriate action on a request to rezone a property at 1711 2nd Avenue to 2F Duplex Attached Residential District from SFS Single Family Suburban Residential District. And got 5 minutes here. Kelby Hartman, I think, is wanting to do this. Kelby, are you here, Mr. Hartman?
I'm here.
Would you like to? Well, first, let me open the public hearing for this this item. Kelby, would you like to say something?
First off, thanks for giving me the opportunity. But I guess the reason being for wanting this transition would be it's an older home. It's super small, needs a lot of work. It's probably to the point to where dumping any more money into it wouldn't be feasible for the size, condition. So I just thought, why not try to build something newer and better and just kind of make the street look a little nicer, I guess. So, yeah, there it is.
That's what's there now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Shall I see the plans for the duplex and everything? For the 2-story, yes.
I believe Danny, now he had told me that the 3-story was not feasible, so I figured I would reconstruct the plans to back to a 2-story. I'm limited on space with the lot, but I feel like if you do the 2-story, you kind of gain a little more square footage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty narrow lot. 47?
45, I believe. I'm trying to get the 2-story to the right. He's got 55, and I'm at 45.
I'll buy you lunch to get that bought. There's a duplex over there too. That's on public record. We got that on tape up there.
I'll take you up on it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hartman.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have any questions? Well, let me see this. I have 3 people here to speak. Are y'all here to address this one or the next one? Okay, all right. All right. Is anybody else here to speak on this issue? If not, then I will close the public hearing. And y'all have any questions for Mr. Hartman or discussion?
Yeah.
So nobody, so you don't have any letters of any neighbors opposing?
They had 3, no opposing letters, no, sir. What I saw was 3 letters in favor of it, everything, which is always.
Here's the zoning map I've got up there. You kind of see it. It attaches to that multifamily area to the
Back to the north.
To the north, yeah. And that's large. There's like the property that we mentioned to the east of it. That's the multifamily grandfathered.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff's grandfathered there. Future use map's not a lot of help, but I will tell you that it's planned. The way we've got it in the comprehensive plan, future use map is public use. The idea is this right here says, what consider not public, semi-public use. It falls right in this area right in here. There's blue area, you can see where I'm circling here, that blue area.
Right.
That's the half block of block we're talking about. He would just be in this area right here. And that's long use, future use map that we have a comprehensive plan, talks about it being public, semi-private. The idea behind this is county, city needs grow, they would try to reach out and probably grab some of that. But as you can see, most of that area is really starting to close in on, they've got some single family out in here, but you've got commercial, you've got central business district. Medium density. Like I said, I don't know how realistic it is. I'm not really sure what our thoughts were in that, the way that grew out. That's near City Hall and near some Randall County owned properties. If that becomes available, try to purchase for public use. So it certainly doesn't go against the grain of where that location is, in my mind, to make that change.
Well, if he does something, he, like you said, never can tell, somebody else might want to do something else that's new and nice.
And that area needs some change. It's worth it.
So we vote for rezone, now how many, is it a one block?
It's just that piece of property.
Just that piece of
Just kind of have a tongue sticking out like you've done. There's some other areas where we just zone some industrial and some other two-family. It's just there's always been a request for that, so it's going to be that block. My hope would be that there would be more requests for that, possibly to move towards the east and west of there. I think that's a good location for that type of use.
Definitely an upgrade.
So under roof, if you're having to reconfigure this a little bit from 3 to 2, is that going to put you at under roof 4 bedrooms probably? 2 and 2.
I guess I'll see what my architect or draftsman kind of puts together, but ideally it'd be nice to have a 3-2, 2 of those, but I'll have to settle for like a 2-bed, 2-bath. But first priority, I would try to shoot for that 3-bed, 2-bath. Try to get a set family or something in there.
Have a little bit more curb appeal than what's there now.
Yeah. They don't all look like that, okay?
Any more discussion, questions?
I move that we accept the request to change this lot from SFS to a 2F. Property located at 1711 2nd Avenue.
Okay.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Motion carries. Next thing on the agenda is conduct a public hearing, consider and take appropriate action on the plat for Bomar Unit Number 5. There it is. Plat Block 21. This is an unusual property. Bomar Addition plat was dedicated in 1892. That was even before I moved to Kansas. The railroad was constructed in the early 1900s, cutting off access to the block from the east. West 2nd Avenue was vacated at some point, cutting off access from the west. Access easements are dedicated to create access from West 3rd Street.
Yeah, I started to point out that your signature wasn't that Beaumont flag.
It was? I was just learning to write. Oh well, people say I was at when Old Main burned down on campus at WT, I was there too, so what can I say? And that was 1914, so we are the you said,
This is public hearing also.
yeah. Owens, Laurie, would you like to tell us what you hope to do? I kind of read it, but tell us if you like.
Well, we're just, we were blessed from my parents with some land, and we were hoping to put a brand new, we have a house already, waiting to be put on there, and we're hoping to put it on there. The lot's really pretty. We've got it looking really good, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to that land to make it look really good. And it used to be my grandpa's 60 years, and it looks quite different. But
It was actually a wrecking.
it's a wrecking yard. If you can, I
Really?
wish I'd had a picture of it before.
For 60 years it was
Yeah.
a wrecking.
But it's beautiful now, and we were blessed by them with a little bit of land to put a house on.
That's it right there, that.
Yeah, I recall that, and Benny has done a wonderful job cleaning up. I congratulate him. I owe him lunch too. He did a
I'll
wonderful
take you up.
job. You can kind of see what we're talking about. This was platted before this railroad track came in here, so really, I believe Second Avenue would have accessed it from over here. And they were just, when Benny wanted to build his house, which NB Homes built his house from years back, it was just completely inaccessible, but they have access easements coming across this property right here, and I also think they gave some access down here. It's just a strange piece of property because kind of left cut off from the world after that 1907 when this railroad came through here. That's at West Second Street. That's not accurate.
One reason we like it so well. Very
It's very quiet
A
over
little
there.
hard to get to, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It is.
it's, yeah.
Once you get there, it's like,
You
oh,
have to be
there it
going
is.
there to get there, right?
Yeah.
It's zoned, and you get one letter of dissension talking about, really about mobile homes. Well, the issue isn't about the mobile home use, because it's zoned for mobile homes, it's about the plat. And the
Right.
reason I brought this before you folks is, it's not really, when you're dividing 4 or fewer lots, I mean, we can do administrative approval, but the problem with this is during this subdivision process, like I said, it doesn't really front on the street, which is only what's requires to kick to you guys because of that frontage. But Lori's talking about right in here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lori,
No.
property is, it's on a well, it does have sewer, that's what this line is showing.
Yeah.
But it would be on a well. I think you guys are gonna share a well.
No, we're gonna have our
Have your
own.
own well.
Very well.
Which is fine anyway with us. We don't have water over there. And
Right.
Our Dr. Public Works Director, he allows them to have a well, Benny's got a well already. So we do have exception orders where we can do that, so. I've talked to the staff and our city manager and Public Works Director have signed off on their blessing on it, but they will have access here as well as I think they, like I said, east access here. But they have dedicated, and they had some issues with matching up, as you guys can see on that plat. I'll go back to it, watch it. The only issue we really had with this, this is coming in, this is actually coming in from the west, right here. And these easements, for whatever reason, there were some typos, or just these two easements, we wanted a 20-foot wide access easement. And they really didn't match up, because this one was over here, you can see this northern border of it. So they kind of met at this corner, but they were able to get this access easement widened. So this is actually like 40 feet wide, so there's a clear access easement to per lot. Of course, Benny still has his access, because this is all Benny's property right here. So, just set a manufacturing home, which again, it's already zoned SFB, which allows for manufacturing homes on the property. It's just simply a difficult property to get the best use out of it, because it's got plenty of acreage, however, it's just cut off. So access easements are the ideal way to work this out. And I think they've been all everything we've required of them.
Ms. King, did you want to speak?
Yes, so me
Please,
and my
just a second,
husband.
before you speak, I need you to give your name and your address, so it'll be on the
Okay.
record.
My name is April King. My home address is 901 29th Street, apartment C. Me and my husband are currently in the process of buying the property that is in front of their property, 901 West 3rd Avenue, or Street. Now, talking to the previous owners, we have noted that they actually had a manufactured home on their property, and we're told that they weren't allowed to have that. And they got that off their property, and then they tried to construct, I think they called it a barn or a shed. They were told that they weren't even allowed to do that. So my only opposition here is, I don't understand exactly why they would allowed to be able to do something like that when the half acre in front of them wasn't even allowed to do something like that.
Okay. We'll discuss that when we close the public hearing.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Okay, and if not, we will close the public hearing, and then we will stopwatch. We can discuss it, and you can ask questions, and then we can go to further detail if you want to address some of the things she questioned and everything. So, Danny, and I was going to ask this, you said earlier that the kind of thing they're wanting to do was allowed there, but then apparently somebody was told something differently. I didn't know that, but
I don't agree with that either. Ms. King, can you help me? Can you see where I'm at?
Yes,
Between Logic
right up there, that's the property we're
That's the one
buying.
I'm on right now?
Yes, sir.
And they were wanting to build a barn?
Yes, I believe they called it a pole barn. It's probably about 10 feet by 5 feet. It's still up, but they were told they couldn't finish it.
Well, there was an issue with the pole barn that was too close to the property line. I recall. Now, we allow pole barns, they just have to be constructed within the setbacks. And I think there might be, if I recall, there is a setback issue, and they do have to be engineered. So there was some
Okay.
issues. I don't know, you can't do it, but it does have to fall within the rules. Being engineered and be at least 3 foot from that side yard, and of course you're gonna have to maintain that access easement too. But,
Yes.
and at least 10 feet from the structure. Did you mention something else about a manufactured home?
Yes, I believe they had bought a manufactured home and put it in towards the back of their lot, and I believe they received a letter from the city telling them that they had 2 weeks to get it off their
Yeah,
property.
if I recall that one correctly, I think it was pre-HUD, so we couldn't accept that. Based on,
Okay.
if anything built before 1976 is not approved, it's pre-HUD. It may have, correct if I'm wrong, I think that was what the issue was with that one.
All right,
I think it was
I'm not
pre-HUD.
entirely sure what the
Yeah, I think
actual
that's-
issue was. I just was talking to them and they mentioned that, so.
Yeah, I think that was an older, and pre-HUD are what they really call mobile homes, which aren't allowed, and you can't issue a permit for mobile homes now.
Okay.
Pre-June something 1976, manufactured homes are HUD approved
All right.
and built differently, so we can allow those, but ours we can't allow anything that's pre-HUD.
All right, so because we're looking to fix up the property, definitely clean it up and rent it out, would we be able, if it was, not pre-HUD, would we be able to do something like they're doing as well?
If, it is zoned single family, and that's why they're having to plat this like
Yes.
they are. You can't have a home and a mobile home on a single piece of property. Now, if we were able to subdivide that up
Okay.
and get access, because I'm assuming you want to leave an existing residence on that piece of property, is that correct?
For now, yes.
It would need to be subdivided, we have to make sure we can meet the subdivision
Yes, sir.
ordinance requirements, and get it to fit, make sure it was HUD approved, and a pole barn too, as long as this guy, I don't know if you guys know Craig Brown, is back there hiding out in the back row, he's our building official. And as long as it met those requirements with, as far as engineering and setbacks, et cetera, a pole barn is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And that whole area is zoned, single-family village, which does allow for mobile homes. We just have to make sure, like I say, there's only one dwelling, this single-family, one dwelling unit per lot, so we have to
Okay.
break that something up.
All right, so
One
you're
way to
saying-
skin it, but let's talk about that.
So you're saying it would be possible if we could go through the proper channels?
What I recall, those were being built and moved in without going through those proper channels, and I think that mobile home just wasn't, it was unacceptable based on being pre-HUD.
All right. I don't have issues with it. I wanted to get that cleared up before I was like, oh, well, I'll approve this, but, so, yeah, no. That's fine then.
I understand your concern.
Thank you, Danny. That was honorable. I've been doing this a long time.
A long time.
A long time, yes. 18-something. Y'all have any questions, comments?
I think it sounds like all good progress. I don't think I see any problem with any of it. Hopefully this gets replaced.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, got a motion to accept it? Motion to second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Motion carries. And ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing else on the agenda. We are adjourned. Thank you for your service today. Hopefully we'll meet more than once every
I've got another one in the queue.
in the queue right now, so maybe next month we'll get
Looking
together
up.
to visit, so.
Very similar type of things.
Okay, well, listen,
Thank
thank y'all.
y'all so much.
You bet. And hope you can work it out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, call her Craig or I, and we'll see.
I was gonna ask for a business card.
I'll get one of mine. And the city commission will take the final action on this before 4:30, right here next Monday. So that'll be on the agenda. Hopefully we get it all wrapped up and moving forward.
I'm Danny. Here to help. Everybody really well. Thank you. What's the kiddo gonna do? I know.
Okay,
Yeah. He's gonna.
Yeah, it's good. We can get occupied pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Here's the thing, it's hard to
I remember Molly posted something about checking her into the residence hall.
Yeah, thank you for-
Wherever she's.
We've had that, they've had the house, they ordered it for us in June.
She'll probably stay down there. She likes it down there. I told you that's not the wrong place. Well, that's good. I'm glad. Is she playing golf? She's. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So we can.
She sure don't need to play golf.
Curry's gonna do our wedding, wait for your call in. It's all just wait.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's football or that's beneficial. Is it more detrimental? Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Take care of yourself.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Danny.